talk some. Let's talk some NBA basketball, NBA playoffs. Yesterday, Miami Heat and Indiana Pacers faced. I feel like Indiana Pacers should lead series 2-0 before that, but series is tied, and then the Indiana Pacers would have home court advantage because now it's a 3-game series, and 3 of those 5 games they're at home. So, but yesterday that didn't work out. Everybody's saying Heat's in trouble, like now Indiana has home court advantage, they're undefeated at home, Miami Heat's undefeated on the road. One of those streaks is going to have to end, and Heat just dominate. 70 points in the first half, that's crazy. That's crazy. 70 points, that's, I'm pretty sure it was it was the biggest point margin franchise history. But he doesn't have a great franchise, but right now they're great, obviously. And 114-96, now Miami Heat lead series 2-1. There's really nothing to say. Not Miami, said, LeBron said he'd owe it up to his teammates by the 2 turnovers. And I think Indiana should have won game 1. I think Roy Hibbert should have been out there, but that was like a week ago or something. And so Indiana should have won game 1. And then game 2, I think LeBron just shouldn't have turned it over. And if he didn't, then Miami would be leading 2-0. But I think it should have been switched. Indiana should have won game 1. Miami should have won game 2. But it doesn't matter. Series tied anyways. In game 3, Miami obviously won. Really nothing to say other than Miami dominated LeBron having a good night as usual. And there's really nothing to say about this match. So, next game, game 4, Indiana. It is tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and I think Heat is going to win. They're going to lead series 3-1, and then they're going to win game 5 and go to the NBA Finals. I don't want them to win. I'm going for Miami. I'm going for Indiana. As a Celtics fan, obviously, not a big fan of the Heat. What can I say? But they're a good team. They're good. And I am so psyched to see it. Spurs, they're obviously going to win. Leading the series 3-0, Grizzlies aren't coming back. So, and I think Heat's going to win. So if it is Spurs and Heat, that's going to be the best finals ever. Spurs and OKC, that wouldn't be that great anymore because we already saw that, We already saw that. And you can say Thunder's better without Harden because they got Kevin Martin. And so you can say they're better because last year they were second seed and this year they're first seed. So you could say they're better. And you think they put up more of a chance versus the Heat. But I think Spurs, because they played twice and Heat won both. Christmas, that was a great game. And the second one was really, well, it wasn't domination. It was a 10-point game. And it was 10 points, so Miami Heat won. It wasn't domination, but it was a good margin to win, And then Grizzlies versus Spurs. Spurs lead series 3-0. They're playing again tonight. I think Grizzlies will get it. I think they should. I think Grizzlies, that was their last chance. If they didn't win Game 3, they would have lost the series. And Game 3, I feel like they should have won, but obviously they didn't. And if they won, I feel like they could have kept the series close. But now they know it's over. Yeah, it's possible to come back. It happened before, but it never happened in the NBA. It happened 3 times NHL, and it happened once in MLB. So, you could see it happen. But I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, you're facing against the San Antonio Spurs. They're not going to lose four straight. They're not. And I think Grizzlies will win game four. I think they should have won game three, so series should have been tied. And I think it should have went to a game seven, and I think every team would have won at home. But Memphis blew it by losing game three. And I think they're going to win game four because they're going to. And elimination game at home. I always say that. If you're at home, home is better than being away. So if you have an elimination game at home, that's like it's a must win for you, you know, because you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of your home fans. You don't want to go home at home. You don't want to. It's an elimination game. You don't want to lose, and you're at home, which home is better than away. You have a better chance of winning. That's why it's home court advantage, because the fans are cheering for you. They want you to win, and when they score, they're booing for you, and that's a big momentum builder. People are saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter home and away." It's momentum that matters. Same thing with hockey fights. Like, why do you have hockey fights? To switch the momentum. Say you're down 3-0 with 10 minutes to go, and someone gets in a fight to change momentum. Suddenly, 3 quick goals, you know? Just like that. It's home field, home court, to get momentum. And I think Grizzlies will win game 4, but they will not win game 5. I mean, San Antonio, you have a chance to go back to the NBA Finals, and you haven't done it in 6 years, and you guys are great. You really want to go back there. You guys are getting old. Might be your last chance. Tim Duncan, if this might be your last chance. I mean, if you get an injury that, say, like torn something, like torn Achilles, torn ACL, torn MCL, something like that, that's not a career-ending injury, but that's like a season-ending injury, and like would extend to next year's season injury, then your career is done. I mean, unless you can be like Derrick Rose, or should have been like Derrick Rose and come back in the playoffs. Um, but they're getting old and they need a championship. I think they will not win game 4, but they'll win game 5. Because if you look at it, this is a must win for San Antonio. I always say it's a must win game 5 because it is. Because if they lose game 5, if they lose game 5, then they go back to Memphis game 6, and you already lost 2 straight. And then you go back to game 7, anything can happen in game 7. Everybody's saying, oh, like, when you think of it, home court advantage is nothing in game 7, because anything can happen in game 7. Like, home field advantage throughout the whole series except game 7, because anything happens. I mean, you're playing your hearts out. Doesn't matter what the fans are yelling. Doesn't matter what they're cheering. You're playing. You're not playing for momentum. You're playing for the win. And I think that San Antonio will wrap it up in 5 games because they're too good. They're too good to lose at home in a clinching game to the NBA Finals. So I think it will be Heat win in 5 and San Antonio in 5. And I think they'll face in the NBA Finals. But to be honest, that's going to be a great showdown. I mean, they faced in the regular season, Miami Heat won on the road, and LeBron and D Wade was out, so that's tough. But I'm pretty sure a couple saying, like, I know Ginobili was. Yeah, I know Ginobili was out. I don't know about Tony Parker. I'm pretty sure Tim Duncan was there, but I'm not sure about Tony Parker. I know Ginobili was out, Manu Ginobili, and at the last 2.1, last 2.1 or 2 seconds, let's just say 2 seconds, Chris Bosh hit it to give